replay till it ends. Gonna bring it in. I know, noob. Going on noob or moderator. It has been almost a week since I live streamed. But it is what it is. What I can do for right now. DylanLasagna live. But what's going on, everyone? Get this thing rolling. It's another edition of DylanLasagna live, episode number 46. Let's get some of the announcements out of the way right now. Normally we do a lot of like topical like episodes here on DylanLasagna live that are more engaging and fun per se. Video gaming topics and pro wrestling topics and going balls to the wall. But this week it's like I just need to get this topic off my chest. I need to lay it on the line with this issue that I'm going to talk about, that YouTube hypocritically does not want independent creators to be talking about. I've already been demonetized even before I went on here. Not that I care if I get monetized or not, because like this is not my full-time job, but I find it hypocritical that independent creators talk about the thing that I'm going to talk about, like they get hit. But when news media or like big channels like Jimmy Fallon or the ESPN First Take YouTube channel talk about it, they don't get hit. Like, it's a double standard, YouTube. What the hell are you doing? But yeah, we need to talk about the C word, the coronavirus. Because not only is it impacting many lives, we'll get to exactly the specifics of that, but it's also causing a lot of fear, a lot of uncertainty. It's causing like a lot of closures, postponements, and cancellations of many events around the country, and I'm not probably around the world too, in like worldwide basis of that. So we're gonna get into all that. Obviously I haven't been streaming like a lot since I have been, because it's a busy time of year for like during the school, but more on that later, because that has been affected by the C word. And like I haven't been able to do like stream games, and plus I'm still trying to like find a new set of games to stream in a set of series. I tried to install GTA 3 on the computer yesterday. Works. The event I wanted to do a speed run, but I guess GTA 3 on happening for a while until I see a Steam. But hopefully we can do it on the PS2 like on maybe in a couple weeks, now that I have more somehow or time for you. But let's get right into this issue with the C word and impact on multitude of levels, because like I don't know what it's causing such a big fear among a lot of people. On one hand, it does make sense, but at the same time, it's the news and like the reactions are making it as if it's an apocalypse, like doomsday is coming. And I'm honestly indifferent and kind of conflicted at the same time of how this coronavirus thing is turning out, because yes, people are dying and getting contracted with this newly found virus. At the same time, it's still relatively new that people are freaking out over, like, a very like it's still pretty big, but it's still, again, it's still fairly new. But those are my initial thoughts. So let's get into like what exactly is the coronavirus, for those of you that obviously it's in the news, in like television, it's affected movies, it's affected games, it's affected sports, it's pretty much affected every single thing that you could imagine. It's affected all, like, everything. It's pretty much everywhere you go, and that's what sucks about the thing that you could imagine. So can you guys hear me fine? It's affected all, like, everything. It's pretty much, yeah. Okay. All right. All right. So all right. I think we're good. That end. Gotta check down. All right. So let's talk about this coronavirus. Um. So the coronavirus. I don't care how many times I say it. I don't care if I get demonetized, because YouTube, fuck you. I have I have much right to say it as any other news. So we know that the first case was documented back on December 1st, 2019, back in Wuhan, China. Um, at that time, it wasn't as big of a deal as it is now, but like several weeks later, it continued to gradually spread. Hold on, there we go. Continued to gradually spread, China, and somehow make it. Obviously, I'm not a medic. Don't quote me on this. Some of the symptoms include runny nose, sore throat, difficulty breathing, and fever. Now, how do everyone keeps comparing the coronavirus to the flu? And honestly, the flu has been around for a long time. That's why doctors advise you to get a flu shot. So, how do these match up to the common flu and even allergy? So, differences between this virus and the flu is that, well, both the flu and the coronavirus have, like, they have the fever, they have the cough, or no, they have sore throats, but the flu also has headaches, fatigue, muscle or body aches, and runny or stuffy noses as symptoms for the flu. Then out regular allergies, like sometimes I occasionally have sneezing and itchy nose or eyes. So kind of like two-way street. Like sometimes you have the coronavirus, sometimes you have the flu. You gotta be tested. You gotta be have. Again, I'm not a doctor. So excuse me. Um so as the months go by, um as of this episode of Dylan Lasagna Live, there's been approximately 140,000 cases of the coronavirus. Now, let's compare that to cases. So, there have been, as of Okay. Okay. I guess this is closest. So as of last Saturday, according to the Centers for Control and Prevention, about approximately 36 million. There have been approximately 36 million flu illnesses cases, and yeah. So obviously the coronavirus is still fairly new, and like still forgetting. And then when you stack up the number of deaths worldwide to with coronavirus and flu, the number of deaths, it's not comparable. Have 22,000 for the flu and 5,000 worldwide for the coronavirus. Now, obviously, those numbers are bad, but it's just like, again, the coronavirus is still too new for like such a drastic action. Flu has been around for so long. Like it's like mass hysteria. Mass hysteria. People are freaking out over uh a disease that's relatively new, that has mild or moderate symptoms, and that's also more common for people over the age of 50 than it is for people younger than that, except for one person, except for one notable person we'll get to later. Um, the recoveries outweigh the deaths, though, at approximately 70,000. So the coronavirus is not like when you see the number of recoveries that I just mentioned, approximately 70,000 as of this recording for Dylan. 70,000 obviously outweighs the number of deaths that there are with the recovery number that I just mentioned. So, um, I don't know. See how this plays out. So, looking here at my home state in California, as of this past Wednesday, there have been more than 190 cases of the coronavirus, times 4 deaths linked to it. More than 1,000 people were in the state were tested positive. Now, just because we're tested virus doesn't mean that anything significant happened. Oh, that the death thing, but like you look again, if you look at the recovery number, still pretty high that recovered from this. Um, but like keep yourself healthy. Wash your hands thoroughly. Sure of what you touch. Again, I'm not not a health not a health expert, but like do the simple, keep yourself healthy. Then obviously California Governor Gavin Newsom and to the state of emergency here on March 4th and pretty much day. So again, do everything you can to make yourself healthy. Wash your hands, especially after you administer those healthy cleaning practices. Simple things assure you that don't happen. But the thing I want to focus on, I know I can't really explain little background details as well. Health expert is the chain reaction to this coronavirus thing. What I mean by chain reaction to this, shutdowns of many places, schools, city districts, as well as the postponement and cancellations of many events worldwide, specifically here in the country of the US. So because of the pandemic, um it's led to places being shut down, like here in San Francisco. Um led to Chinatown, from what I heard, it was shut down. And you got people buying stock and no, like many things in like bulk, like toilet paper, towels, to the point you don't see it even in places like Costco. Um, and every time like to those kind of stores, it's like there's always a line of people waiting for those items. It's insane. And then the thing I'm gonna focus on more here is the events that are being postponed or outright canceled, um due to due to the fear of this new virus that's outbreaking right now. Now, let me talk about the shutdowns first because this affects me. I mean, I'm obviously my last, hopefully my last semester in college. So, California, many colleges, universities, um, they pretty much closed. Not closed. I'm sorry. Track that. So many of the schools and colleges, here in California, have moved all their in-person classes to online, pretty much. So pretty much, um, like I go to a state university, and pretty much all my lecture classes and even my radio production class, it's gonna be remote here in this room. And I'm just figuring, especially with the radio class, how the hell is that gonna work? I mean, we tried that on Thursday, right away. East Bay Live. It's on Mixler.com/ East Bay Live. Still shameless plug. I do a show called Around the Town. Um, but it's like, I don't know. It doesn't feel the same as doing it in studio because it's like team chemistry with your co-hosts. It's not the same. It's a little harder to organize when not there. But anyway, I'm backtracking now. So the campuses are still open, but it's just like you can clearly tell how deserted and how limited like it is, like for at least a month. So it's gonna be like this for a month. Um, so I know lab and activity based courses like the radio production courses are gonna be severely impacted. But I mean, it'll get through it. But I'm just saying it's gonna be a little harder. Lecture based classes are just gonna have like readings online that um then you can't, like if you're living on campus, you can't have people, or you can't have guests, can't have people staying overnight. And even like the dining on campus, it's like if it's like a buffet style kind of diner on campus, can't like self serve. You pretty much, it's not buffet style anymore. They're serving it to you. So it pretty much defeats the purpose of self, like the diner. But it's like they don't want to risk like people contracting them, which I get, but at the same time defeats the purpose. Uh then yeah, that's pretty much how it is for colleges and universities. But here's the thing I want to focus more on, and that's the events and getting postponed and canceled. I'm gonna focus on on the Bay Area a little bit here because I live. So a couple days ago, because this is where it all started, um, Santa Clara and San Francisco public health departments pretty much banned large gatherings of more than 100 to 1,000 people. What's up, Amir? So pretty much it's like it renders like concerts or like San Jose Sharks or Golden State Warriors games meaningless. It's like so the SAP Center in San Jose or the Chase Center in San Francisco, it's like all those events pretty much a no-go. Oh yeah, I know. It's I understand. It's for the sake for the health. But it's just like I'm just saying, I guess I'm going to get to it now. Like I guess I would have had them react a little differently, but it is what it is. It's like I feel like they're reacting to it. It's like as if it's a zombie apocalypse. Like again, we've don't we remember don't we remember the swine flu? Like people were dying from that. So I don't know. I just don't know. There are people vulnerable, people who are exposed to the COVID-19. Fair point. Fair point. I'm actually going to get to that a little later because there was one person that has pretty much exposed a number of people to COVID-19. But I'll explain that in a bit. I'd like fair counterpoint. So pretty much it's like workers at the arenas are going to lose a large amount of money because the arenas are pretty much like closed for a month. Like it's like the government's order. Like politics are involved in this. You can't do anything. Like empty arena or not, it's the government's call. Yeah, exactly. I mean that I can agree with. Money isn't as important as lives, unless if you're Vince McMahon. I mean, if you let me give you a little history lesson. I'm gonna go off track here. At Over the Limit, WWE produced an event called Over the Limit, Over the Edge in 1999, and there was a wrestler called Owen Hart, and he had a an accident. He had as the Blue Blazer. He was supposed to come down with like harness and hero type entrance, but then he fell all like 70 feet, then like collided with the ring. He fell chest first into the into the turnbuckle, and then he just passed away, and he passed away from his injury. And then Vince McMahon elected to continue with the show despite knowing that Owen Hart's a very like could be dead. So Vince McMahon knows damn well that he wants the show. Like he wants the show to continue. Speaking of which, I'm gonna talk about that a little more later. So stay tuned. So we had other events like Coachella being moved to October. Then you have other arenas closing down all over the place, like in New York, and then Prudential Center, New Jersey, which was supposed to host Blood and Guts for All Elite Wrestling. They're not doing that anymore in New Jersey. They moved it to July. And then yeah, well, we're actually gonna get into that right now. So AEW pretty much had to move. They pretty much had to move their whole like set of recordings to Daly's Palace in the Jacksonville Jaguars Stadium in for next week's episode of Dynamite. We don't know what they're gonna do Blood and Guts in 2 weeks, but again, it's for safety reasons. Yes. You would have to care for one significant person other than hundreds of thousands of people. I'm not trying to care for one person. I'm trying to make a point that some people don't don't care about others, and we don't know about, like, trying to make the point with Vince McMahon. I mean, I obviously care about hundreds of thousands of people, but not everyone does. They care about money, and sometimes man is one of those people. But we'll see with this whole coronavirus situation. So let's continue with this thing. Um, you had the Game Developers Conference, which is pretty much an event that's supposed to be held here in San Francisco, being canceled. Actually, it was moved to August 3rd. Oh yeah, I care about the world too. It's like sometimes you have to, like, I'd say just don't overreact. Like, don't react like as if it's like we're gonna get nuked or something. Anyway, I don't want to go into it too deep because obviously health and health expert. So E3 was also canceled. Yeah, these are temporarily canceled again. It's not like permanently. I know it's no biggie. I just want to like mention all of these. So E3 was canceled, but it was gonna be canceled anyway because it's like there's this whole like a lot of people had their like press info leaked the year before, but it was like, I guess, the whole coronavirus um the situation had multiple publishers pulling out of the event. So ESA decided it was best to cancel it. Now multiple companies that are supposed to participate in E3 are just gonna do like what Nintendo's doing with the directs, digital presentation. So, and it was also the fact that LA was also declaring a state of emergency. So we all know E3 was on the last leg for 2020 at least. Multiple esports events around the world were canceled, and then this is where the pandemic hit hard the most. That's in sports. Um, I know this is all temporary for the year, for the year. I know, but I want to make a point here because especially this first one, because the NBA season was suspended, not canceled, unlike say right now the XFL. Um, yeah, exactly. We're trying to clean this up, and then we can continue this. Good point, Amir. So the NBA season was suspended because of the coronavirus. It was considering doing that, um, but before that, they restricted locker room access to the media just to prevent any spread of the virus. But then before that was announced yesterday. Oh no, Wednesday actually. Uh, on Tuesday, I want to show you guys this. I want to show you all this video right, and I want to get your all thoughts on. Utah Jazz player Rudy Gobert did this. In the press, but that's just at the end. He was, yeah, Rudy Gobert, like, touched all the microphones. Um, touched all the microphones, and a day later, Adrian Wojnarowski, the senior NBA reporter for ESPN, he reported that Rudy Gobert tested positive for the coronavirus, which led to the NBA being suspended. Yeah, that was not a. But yeah, I do agree. But it's just like I don't agree with Rudy. Like, what I don't agree with is Rudy Gobert doing that, making that kind of joke. I mean, yeah, I just don't agree with that kind of, because like his actions, like his little joke there, very much led to the suspension of the NBA season. But it's like can't blame that solely on him though, because one way or another, someone was gonna contract it, and that would have been. You just can't have that. You gotta have everyone healthy, and then it was later found out that his teammate Donovan Mitchell was also contracted with the virus, and yeah, the whole team, the whole Utah Jazz team is now not happy with. That's fair enough. That's fair enough. So also we had the NHL suspending its season. I guess that was also in response to the San Jose Sharks SAP Center like closing the events for this week, and we didn't know how the Sharks' first game next week, after the mass gathering ban would play out, because it was like would have been like what the Golden State Warriors game against Brooklyn Nets yesterday would have been, when they were when they would have played in an empty arena. But so the Major League Soccer season was also suspended, and all these like suspensions are gonna last at least a month. So this is also bad for like ESPN and Fox Sports, because obviously nothing to report or talk about for at least a month. The NFL free, the WWE, um, yeah, they got nothing to report on, because that like it hurts those media outlets as well. Exactly, exactly, Amir. So you also have the rest of MLB spring training canceled, and the regular season was delayed for 2 weeks because they want to see how this plays out. Fair enough. The NCAA, my opinion, took the biggest hit in whole coronavirus situation. In sports at least, because the commission outright canceled March Madness. Not only did they cancel March Madness, for those of you that don't watch sports, that's the men's and women's college basketball. Instead of postponing it, they outright canceled it. So I kind of feel bad for all collegiate athletes, but again, you have the concern of player safety, their health, who who has it, who doesn't. It's you gotta keep everyone healthy. If these events were not canceled, our situation for the we'll get into that a little bit, because there are still some events that are not canceled. Obviously you have the XFL, which was revived and actually doing pretty well. It pretty much the season is pretty much over because of the coronavirus. And then we get to Amir's next point. How if these events were not canceled, our situation for the coronavirus would have been much worse because of the mass gathering. We're gonna get to that right now, because the WWE is still one of the last remaining sporting leagues that is still doing events Like right now and Monday, they're not doing events in front of a large crowd, but they're still putting on events. So they're not doing SmackDown in Detroit like they originally are, or Raw from Pittsburgh. They moved those two events to their performance center, and they canceled this weekend's live events. So yeah, most likely, yeah. Again, Vince, you have to look at Vince. He wants the money, and of course, the city of Tampa Bay, like they can't, if they postpone it, they're gonna lose a lot of money. But it's like same time, you can always get that money back um later by moving it to another date. I know the loss of money is immediate, but you can always get it back later, right? And then all NXT tapings until April at the latest are gonna be at the Performance Center, because its original taping location, Full Sail University, it's a school by the way too. It also suspended in-person classes, and those classes are being moved offline as well, or online. Sorry, they're being moved online as well, and because Full Sail University has the venue, those that counts as group events and mass gatherings, so that's suspended till the end of April. So that forces WWE to pretty much almost everything. I think even Raw and SmackDown beyond those two taping until pretty much the end of March. So we now get to the question: what about WrestleMania? Um, because March Madness got canceled. Pretty much almost every sporting league has suspended play. Mind I have you, the UFC is going to continue doing events in front of people. Actually, well, that's if people want to actually show up to these. The UFC is still going to continue doing events because Dana White like wants to do it, and he even told President Donald Trump to stop panicking about the pandemic, which I can somewhat agree with. Um, until obviously it gets significantly more serious. So we get to the point of WrestleMania, and the city of Tampa like giving WWE provisional permission to put on this event, but we have to weigh every option. Is is money for Vince more important than the health of his independent contractors? Because wrestlers have to pay for health insurance in WWE. It's like they don't get that through Vince. Unlike with the XFL actually pays for their players' health insurance, and WWE does. Wrestlers don't don't get that. So if this pandemic somehow gets worse, then Tampa may have no choice but to pull the plug and delay WrestleMania. Honestly, could be for the better. Maybe till the summertime, maybe in June would be the best bet, since oh, my stream got delayed. Let me see. Fine to me. Did it get cut off? Well, here, look, it's working fine. But anyway, like, it's honestly, even if Vince wanted to do WrestleMania, It's no longer in its hands. It's no longer in his hands. City of Tampa needs to make a decision. If it's not worth the risk, personally, at this point, at this rate, with all the cancellations, in spite of all the mass hysteria, it's not. If they really think not worth it, and as much a financial loss it'll be for not for both parties, both the city of Tampa and for WWE, might as well just pull it. Might as well just delay it till the summer at the latest. Because again, wrestlers don't have like health insurance under the WWE. They have to actually pay for it. And if they could contract it, and I know it's mild to moderate symptoms, what'll happen? Who knows what'll happen? And then to close off this episode of DylanLasagna Live, have like other notable like things involved with the virus, like Disneyland, Universal Studios closing for the rest of March, and you have like production of the Fox Sports Studio shows being seized for at least next week. So that includes Undisputed, Colin Coward's, The Herd, then even WWE Backstage is even put on hold. And then you got a lot of New York based studio shows like Jimmy Fallon's Tonight Show and Wheel of Fortune. And they're doing taping still, but they're not doing it in front of studio audiences like WWE is doing SmackDown and Raw. And then this is one big surprise, I guess, for most people, that Tom Hanks was one of the most notable people that tested positive for the virus. So hopefully he recovers from it. Hopefully he'll be fine. That'll happen. And then going back to Trump, he initiated a travel ban between the United States and 26 European countries for a month. So you can't go from the US to certain Europe. Then you also had movies being delayed to the virus, including Fast and Furious 9 and Mulan. So yeah, it's pretty insane, pretty nuts that we're in this thing in general. It's honestly not a good start to the year, because it's like you hear about the coronavirus pandemic left and right, no matter where you go, as much as you want to avoid it. You're in things, you're wrestling, you video games, you sports, you even hear it in movies, like in the movie industry, you television, shows you're watching. Can't escape it. Can't escape it, no matter how much you. I guess it's because of like media, like exaggerating it, and I don't know. I don't know what to tell you all. It's like these are all for entertainment purposes, so I don't think these should be as important. The events, you mean? Makes sense, but it's makes sense. But I don't know. I think the pandemic, like, hopefully everyone that has been reported to have cases of this virus gets healthy, recovers from it. Wash your hands, especially. Do everything you can to stay healthy. Because overreacting to all this new people getting the case. Pretty much all I can tell you. Hopefully, this thing will get better instead of getting worse, because that's the last thing to happen right now. The whole pandemic, worse and more fear mongering from the media, more like zombie apocalypse vibes from the rest of the world. Yeah, it's not a great like 2020, 2020 so that whole pandemic. You got pretty much like Kobe passing away. You got a lot of games getting delayed, but that's not as important as the like health. Any people out there, stay healthy. Just do everything you can to protect yourself out there. But anyway, that's gonna do it for this episode of Dylan Lasagna Live. Um, I'm not gonna do my usual plugs here because I want to keep it real with you all. So just just stay healthy. Just keep yourself healthy out there. I'm gonna outro song out here. Um, Next week we're gonna move on from this pandemic. All right, Amir. I'll see you around. Hopefully, stick around for next week. Next week, hopefully, we see move on to a positive topic. To a more positive topic. I just wanted to get my thoughts on this coronavirus pandemic. I don't care. YouTube demonetizes this, even suppresses it, because this is too important. Too important to. So hopefully we all get through it. We all get through. Been through worse before. We'll get through this. Anyway, everyone, take care. Most importantly, always be. See you all next time.